Now, as a personal concierge, and just because it's part of my personality, I'm very big on to-do lists, and I have lists everywhere. I organize them in notebooks and in software. I'm trying to get things a little bit more consolidated. But today I don't want to talk to you about to-do lists. Today I want to talk to you about stop doing lists or not doing lists. And this is all about a process in which you can start to think about delegating some of the tasks you have on your plate, or even just completely eliminating them. For those of you who know me quite well, I am big on lists. I have lists of tasks that I'm working on for clients. Whenever we're going on a trip, I have a big list of things that we've got to take because I am very prone to forgetting things. So I have to have a list that we tick off. These days I also have lists for my kids. They quite like it because it means that I stop nagging and asking them 15 times if they've done something, and they find it quite fun to have their own list when we're packing for holidays. But I'm also big on the stop doing and not doing lists, and I find these really important with my clients because it can often be overwhelming to work out what it is that you want to hand over to a personal concierge, for example, or you may want to hand it over to an assistant at work, or you may want to get some help from someone at home, but it's all in your head and it can just be too hard to work out what to hand over. And sometimes you're convinced that it is easier if you do it yourself, but that's not always the case. So a stop doing list and a not doing list. How do you get these lists prepared? Well, my first tip is to just brain dump everything that you're doing. And if you're focused on your home and family life, brain dump all the things that you are responsible for. You might write it down in a notebook or have a note on your phone. And it's something that I want you to keep by you for a couple of days or even a couple of weeks. Brain dump that initial list of all the stuff you do. But then we do know that things crop up and you don't even think about the fact that you've had to fill in another form for school, or you're always the one finding the shoes from under the bed, or you're the one that's remembering that we need to buy new toothbrushes because you haven't changed them in 6 months. There's all these little bits and pieces that really add up to the to-do list that you're constantly doing. And so the first step is just brainstorming those and giving yourself some time to pull a list together. And it's probably going to be quite long. And I do think it's important to include the finicky little things that you kind of dismiss, and also the big stuff that you have to deal with. The next step is to divide it into 3 lists. So the first one is your to-do list, but I kind of want you to leave that to last. This is the list of all the leftovers that you actually have to do yourself. So that's your first list, but let's leave that till the end. Then you've got the stop doing list and the not doing list. And this is where you're trying to drag as many items on your to-do list, your brain dump list, as possible, because you want less on your plate. So what you're trying to identify is, are these things actually things that need to be done? Is it perhaps that you're in the habit of doing certain things and they don't need to be done at all? They're the things that need to go on your stop doing list. So it might be that you're ironing your sheets because you think that that is something you need to do. It is not something I do, but I know it's something that a lot of people love to do. But do you love to do it, or do you just do it because you think you're supposed to? This is one of those things that should go on that stop doing list. So I want you to start thinking about those things that are just adding weight to your day and weight to your mind, that you realize, actually, I could get away with not doing that at all, and putting that on your stop doing list. This is the list that in the end you're going to throw it away, scrunch it up and chuck it in the bin. And the not doing list is the list of things that you're not going to do yourself, but they still need to get done. The not doing list are the things that you could delegate to someone, whether that's someone in your household or someone external to your household. So it could be that you get one of your kids to match up all the odd socks one day a week, and that's delegating to someone in your household. It could be that instead of having to empty all the bins throughout the house yourself, you get someone else to go through and empty all those bins. There's quite a few things that I'm sure you can think of in your own house that you could get someone else to help you with. But then there are other things that if it's not you doing it, there's no one else in the house to do it. But perhaps someone external could, like a personal concierge, like a gardener or a cleaner or an organizer or a handyman. Who is it that you could delegate some of these tasks to? You know they're going to get done. They're probably going to get done a lot quicker than you might be able to do them, and potentially even better than you could do. But don't worry about if it's better or you think that you could do it better if you just did it yourself. If it gets done by someone else and it's good enough, that is something you can put on your not doing list. So the things that you've now got left over from your brain dump, go on to that first to-do list. And I'm hoping that this list is now so much shorter, that you've got a few things that you know that you can focus on. You can do it in a timely fashion and do it to the level that you're happy with. You've got your stop doing list, which you are now just going to simply no longer do. I would love you to screw that up and throw that in the bin. Burn it on a fire if you have to. Get rid of all that pressure and all those extra things from your life. And now the not doing list is the list that you need to delegate. And you are going to have to dedicate a bit of time to this process. It might be as simple as explaining to one of your family members the task and then setting in a routine to ensure that they get it done. Maybe there's an alarm set on an iPad or a phone. There's that process that you need to go through. And it could take some time. Hopefully it doesn't take too much nagging. It's all about everyone hopefully agreeing to pitch in and help out. You can show them your to-do list and show them how many things you've already got on your plate, and then doing these one or two things will make such a huge difference. Then there are those things that you want to delegate and outsource to another third party. Perhaps you have these providers on your list already and you can send them an email, drop them a phone call, whatever's easiest, asking them if these are things they can do and when they can do it. And now, if that even seems overwhelming, that's what we can also help with. So you can delegate some of your tasks to a personal concierge, or you can delegate the delegation process to us. So you know that on your not doing list that you need to get the back gate repaired, that there's some patching in the wall that should have been done ages ago, that there is perhaps a leak in your pipe but you're not sure. These are the things that you can delegate to us, and we'll delegate to someone else. We'll get the quotes, we'll find the plumber or the handyman, we'll meet them at your house, we'll get it done for you. So I hope that's a good overview of what I mean when I talk about the stop doing and not doing lists. It's a great way to eliminate that huge list on your own to-do list. It helps you in the process of what to delegate and who to delegate that to. And the biggest, most important thing is that I want you to feel a sense of relief once you've gone through this process. A lot of our clients say that as soon as they have shot off an email to us with everything on their not doing list, it's not when those things get done by us that they feel a sense of relief. It's as soon as they press that send button. So I want you to experience that relief and know that your to-do list is so much shorter. So I'd love to hear if you've gone through the stop doing or not doing list process before, or if you listen to this video and decide to try it, I'd love to know how it went for you. What is your experience? Did some things not go quite as planned? Or did you find that there was so much that you no longer had to do yourself? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.